Books have been one of man's best friends for long. Many thought with the onslaught of television and other forms of entertainment, this friendship would end. However, the relationship survived. The friendship between man and books even sailed through the age of internet. On the contrary, the net became another medium for the distribution of book trade. Almost 40% of online sales in India pertain to books. Though this figure translates to about 40,000 people only, yet many consider the trend could be an indicator of the future.
In India, the biggest problem of the book trade is what? It is distribution. Population has spread, right? It's not just concentrated in 6 metropolises. You take, for example, Tisco, Jamshedpur, right? I mean, that's a huge conglomeration of high quality, highly trained professionals. There's no bookshop out there worth speaking of. For those sorts of people, this online trading will certainly pick up a lot of slack, because that is the problem we have today in the book trade, is how do we get our books to the customer.
5 years back, this all started in the United States, and it's now been history that for last 5 to 7 years, books are the major components of electronic commerce or online commerce, as you may call it. There is a very special and specific reason for this. If you look at any other product range, there is no other product category which allows you to choose from 1 million or probably more than 1 million specific products in the same product category.
The concept of online book sale was introduced by Amazon.com, which tried to redefine the way of buying and selling books. The process offered options on various topics that readers searched for on the internet. However, high shipping costs led to its failure. Barnes & Nobles later made the concept successful. With a high readership in India and growing awareness of the internet, the model soon picked up here. Last year, trade in online books were recorded to the tune of rupees 10 crores. The figure is expected to jump by 50% by the end of 2002.
That actually shows consumers' acceptance of the idea, consumers' acceptance of the fact they're willing and they will continue to buy books on the internet.
A reason for convenience in online book trade is perhaps due to the fact that a buyer does not have to touch and feel the good. For most other products, the touch and feel factor turns out to be a major hurdle. However, one can take risks on buying certain books even without seeing these, as these are low-value items. The option of placing orders online comes as an advantage for professionals and students who are increasingly hard-pressed for time.
See, I would say that the biggest group right now which is buying books on our site and as a community is professionals. Whether they are software professionals, whether they are medical professionals, whether they are advertising professionals, whether they are filmmakers, whether they are music directors, whether they are fashion professionals. Anybody who is doing well in life today wants to keep up with happenings all around the world, and he wants to know what else is happening to increase his own horizon, and he has no other alternative but to read and get this information through books.
Yes, absolutely, because they are the ones who have the most disposable income, and they tend to be educated, and not only that, part of their work today, because today we are in a very competitive business environment. So the whole thing of excelling both in your personal capacity as a manager or a junior executive even, as well as in the organizational framework.
Innovations are happening in the form of ebooks. Some of these are marketed with much fanfare and interesting audience interface. One such attempt was made by actress-writer Tara Deshpande, who tried to incorporate the reader's version in some chapters of her book. The day is not far when books will be published on digital devices. Perhaps the time has come when concern on the decline of reading habits should give way to new optimism. As the change is only in the form, the essence still carries on.